Welcome back, everybody, to episode and show number 4. Filmed on another incredibly warm and gorgeous sunny afternoon here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Today's topic, I must tell you, is a topic that we should not talk for 15 or 20 minutes. We probably should talk for about 15 or 20 years. This topic can never end. Never, never, never. We're going to talk about the government's role in the world of gambling. First of all, you should know what you're watching and who you're watching. You're watching Howard Reback, gambling specialist, gaming expert, motivational speaker. I like to stay away from the words of therapist and counselor, and of course I'm certainly not a doctor, but I am a guy that spent almost 30 plus years in the world of gambling from all ends, except from winning. Everything else I've done and I've been part about. But all kidding aside, think about the government. And before we begin today's show, let me make something very, very clear. I'm not talking about just Lotto Quebec here in Montreal. I'm talking about every government body in every province in Quebec, forgive me, in every province in Canada, and 47 of the 50 states in the United States that has gambling, run by a political and government holy body politic. Think about that. If you want to dive into the meat and the heart of the topic, what is the government? Who is the government? I've read many a definition of the word government, and simply put, layman to layman or to laywoman, what is the government? The government is supposed to be a body of people, the government, whose job it is to look out for the best interest of its citizens. Think about that. The government's job is that while we're at work, paying our taxes, sleeping, whatever we're doing, the government is supposed to work tirelessly on our behalf to look out for us. Now, I understand that the government's role in hiring a police force, in hiring street snow removal, fixing potholes, I get that. That's why we pay our taxes. But a government to run a lottery commission? A no-win situation for its taxpayers and its people? Is that fair? I would love you, the viewer, to do what they did for Betty White. YouTube, send letters. Let me be the mayor. Let me be the president for a couple of days. Let me be the prime minister. I would ask these guys and ladies all kinds of questions, simple questions. Is it fair? Does it make sense? How could the government be in charge of selling us booze? At Easter and Christmas time, they advertise, buy 3 bottles, get the 4th one free. It's insanity. How do we allow that? What does that mean? It means they're encouraging us to drink. And then we want to know why there are so many drunk-related accidents on the roads. It's insanity. Gambling. A $30 billion industry in Canada, with 90-odd% of the people lose. Bankruptcies have been up. Suicide is up. Divorce is up. Business is going in the toilet. $30 billion. It comes from somewhere. It comes from us. It makes no sense. And yet, not only does it not make sense, we put these bozos in charge of running it for us. Do you know that Lotto Quebec has the most extensive, valued art collection in Canada? With our money. I've had the pleasure and not so much pleasure of being in Lotto Quebec's head office here in Montreal. Offices out of a George Clooney movie. Makes no sense. How do they afford that? How? Because people lose gambling and they're making gobs of money. How silly is the notion of Mr. and Mrs. Joe, who's always complaining about paying too much in taxes, on their spare time, in their spare time, rather, to gamble and give the government more money? Gambling was taboo up until the early 90s. Bookies went to jail. Blind pigs is what they called. Blind pigs were basically illegal casinos. The operators went to jail. It was a heinous crime. Gambling was no good. No good for you socially, financially. No good until the government found a way to make money, and all of a sudden, overnight, it became good. That's like the government announcing tomorrow, oops, we made a mistake. Smoking is good for you. I'm embarrassed. You should be embarrassed if you gamble. Look who's running it.